movies are no longer cultural forces. They're entertainment forces, but they don't resonate culturally because culture changes all the time. And even music. I mean, we're not. I read a review in the Atlantic about Taylor Swift's new show. And you know, for a generation of girls, Taylor Swift is like a prophet. And apparently this new show is incredible. You know, there's magic. Part of it's literally like they do magic tricks or whatever. And the funny thing about Taylor Swift, and here she talks about broken relationships, or I mean, she's a it's the difference where I was going is her music's fine, but it's all about her. It's Taylor. It's the cult of Taylor Swift. Like before, if a band would play, I mean, Robert Plant was an amazing frontman, but Led Zeppelin, you know, Jimmy Page, the magic of the music, or, you know, Jim Morrison was the Lizard King, but at the end of the day, it was Break On Through, or it was Light My Fire, or it was The End, or whatever your, you know, whatever your Moonlight Drive, whatever your favorite Doors song was. Ultimately, it was the music. But with Taylor Swift herself is more potent, I think, than her music. Her music is part of her mystique, but she's got a whole other thing happening. And it was interesting to read her show because, you know, everybody read about her show because I think it's things are just different now. Pop culture works differently. It used to unify us in ways that are different. Like, you know, everybody, you know, what was the song that you made out with to the first girl you ever kissed? That music became, you know, and when you watch movies like Dazed and Confused, Richard Linklater's Dazed and Confused, it was the last day of school in 1976. All those the music tracks that I mean, I remember those because I was little enough to remember. You remember all that shit. And James Gunn has done a great job using music even in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
You know, and tracking it with that. And that music doesn't necessarily, it means nothing to anybody but Peter Quill, and it's all about his mom. But, you know, for we, the audience, hearing that stuff, because it's from a very specific time, it's pretty interesting.
Well, it is interesting too. I mean, just using that example because there's a very strong emotional connection for Quill.
Yeah.
And and it goes back to that Field of Dreams at the end.
Yeah.
You want to play cat, you know? Yeah, that's good stuff.
I think our society's we've lost the emotional component. You know, it's more about social and style than it is about true emotion. And I think that's kind of been bled out of our pop culture.
And I think that one of the emotions that continues to dominate is, you know, anger.
You know what? Anger, but it's also like even activism. People want to feel some kind of something emotional, and like you said, anger. You know what's interesting? No one listened to the Jedi. Yoda said, "Anger leads. It's quick and easy, more seductive." We've been seduced by the dark side of the Force. We didn't listen to Yoda in the prequel trilogy.
Anger leads to suffering, whatever that equation is.
Yeah, and now, because the thing is, people don't have enough emotion in their lives in other places, so they're looking outward. They want to find things that they can be outraged about because it lets them feel something. Because, you know, we would go get things. In order to feel, you have to take a risk. You know, you have to go get, and when it comes down to like, I keep thinking about one of my favorite movies is Almost Famous. You know, and Penny Lane has a speech where she says, listen, when you're feeling down, you go to the record store, you know, and you find your friends. You know, you're looking through the stacks and find your friends. We used to have to go outward. Now everything's coming to us. Social media, phones, it's all coming to us. So there's no effort. So, you know, you're not now, outrage gets you see something online, you immediately get angry, and then, oh my God, I feel something. And there's a bunch of other people that are angry. So I can join this, and they're gonna invite me into their anger, and they're gonna, hey, you want to become part of our community? Come on in, and let's be all angry together. But it's easy because you haven't had to work for it. It's just come to you. I mean, I'd get on a bus and take 3 buses to go to a comic book store to get my weekly supply of comics. So my comics, it was like, I can't wait to delve into these. You know, it's like I had to take a journey to get these comics.
They were treasures, yeah.
They were treasures, man. I had to go, and I'd bring them back and bag and board them, you know, and think about them.
I think that's why I love going to the movie theater so much.
Yeah,
because everyone
Again, you had
like,
to
I can
go
watch
out
from the comfort of my house now. I'm like, that's not the point. That's not the ritual. You know, go and you get some popcorn. You get to your seat. Do you watch trailers or not? Do you react? Are you loud? How is the energy with the room?
Well, it's
You know, that-
ritualistic. You know,
Yeah, it really dictates your time if you're gonna have a good time or not.
Yeah,